Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll be talking to an entrepreneur who is bringing video to the hiring process and shaking up the industry. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's I Spies.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I'm a baby boomer, and my generation is more likely to say, well, that's the way it's always been done. But you talk to a millennial, and they're going to say, why would you guys do it that way? To talk about that today, Evan York, he's the president and founder of HiredUp. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Now, you are completely shaking up the way people get a job. Can you explain what your app does?
We are. So, Jeff, people are so used to, in this day and age, being in the digital realm, right? On Instagram, we have a lens into each other's lives. On Yelp, we get to look at exactly what restaurants look like before we ever walk into them. But we get to the hiring space and we lose that completely. And so what HiredUp's aim is to do is to really bring that into the world of hiring. It's to make people, to give them the familiarity that they have in every other area of their life in a place they've never had it before. And so we do that through video. We allow companies to post their job along with company stories. So they get to actually show the environment of their office. They can show exactly what's going on inside their company, so that candidates can look at that before they ever apply. And then on the other side, candidates actually get to apply through a video. So much like a selfie video, they're asked pre-screened questions that are pre-recorded from a company. They hold out the phone in front of them and they get to answer those questions, and then it's immediately sent to the company.
It's brilliant. Why hasn't somebody thought of this before?
It's interesting because there's so many companies out there that have it almost, right? Mm-hmm. So there's businesses that have it on webcam, they have it on a computer database. You have to log in and then sit in front of your computer. And we really bring the speed, right? We always say we want a company to be able to screen through candidates on the way to their car in the morning or in the evening. So we want people to be able to do it faster.
And you were saying that this was born from frustration on your side.
It was. So, I used to sell suits. Mm-hmm. We were in this building coming up to meet you in your studio, and I was actually telling our media team, I used to prospect in this building.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure I've been thrown out of this building. And so I left that job and I started a sales recruiting company. So I was doing sales recruiting. I was hiring, people for 6-figure jobs right out of college. And the feedback I was immediately getting was, hey, it's a great company, but the culture's not a fit. And I got that over and over and over again. And so just started to kind of put these complaints together. And that's really where the idea was born.
Well, he eats his own cooking because your YouTube channel is very robust. In fact, we found a video we want to share with you now.
All right, so one of the biggest questions right now with our app is who exactly are you for? We are incredible for very high turnover jobs. So restaurants, bars, anything in the hospitality industry, as well as sales jobs. I mean, really anything. Higher turnover we function fantastic in because these are the companies that are always needing to be hiring people. Also very high growth companies. I mean, people that are always hiring consistently and need to screen their candidates fast and don't have the time to sit down with every single candidate. We are the perfect solution for them. So that's really who we're for. We're for the candidates. We are for the people who do not feel that their resume does them justice, which is sort of everybody. So anybody who feels like their resume does not completely tell the story of who they are, that is the person we're perfect for, because now we give you the ability to hold out your phone in a selfie format and record your answer to the questions asked by the company.
It makes so much sense. I'm really shocked that nobody came up with it before you. What's been the reaction so far?
People love our app. Like I said, Jeff, people are so familiar with this process. They do it every single day on Instagram stories. They do it every day when searching for food and places to eat. They do it everywhere, but they don't have it in the hiring space. And so once we introduced the app, people fell in love with it. They love being able to immediately look inside of a company, and companies love it because they're not spending 20 minutes times 20 looking for a new candidate. They get to immediately see who's on the other end of that application and then make a determination, do we want to interview this person?
And I love the way you engage your community. You also have a podcast. We're going to put that up on the screen and have you talk about it. Man, how many shows have you done so far?
I think we've done about 23 or so actual podcasts, and then we release videos almost every day, just on new things. And, it's been fantastic. I mean, we've really set out to become an overarching media company that happens to sell an app. And so we love doing it. We love having people on the podcast. We love, releasing videos. We're big into the social content.
Where do you see this all going? I mean, are you going to build it up and sell it? Or if Mark Cuban called today and said, I want to acquire you, would you say, well,
sure,
Mark, I'm interested?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it would take a specific number.
Sure.
But, we're so young. We're so early. We're early in the stages of this thing. And so, it's going to be a couple years before we really see exactly what we want to do with it and where it's going. But, I see an event somewhere 6-10 years down the road.
Yes.
So, we'll see.
Tell me what your greatest need is right now. There always seems to be, when you're launching an app, a chicken and an egg situation. Do you need more companies or more applicants?
We have a very interesting supply and demand need, and it's very interesting in our business because we need a perfect amount of candidates and a perfect amount of companies. And without one of those, the business doesn't work. And so companies are really what we're looking for. Our app is $100 a month per a company, which compared to other ways of recruiting, extremely inexpensive.
Absolutely.
Very inexpensive. And so, that's really where our biggest need is. I mean, we go out there and say, hey, we have jobs, candidates, they sign up in a heartbeat. But the companies are really it's a little more time intensive and cost, intensive to bring them on.
It makes all the sense in the world. Like if I was sending out applications for jobs, I would want to tell people that we cater in daily, that we have a kind of a fun place to work.
Sure.
And so I could upload a video that we create about our own culture. Is that right?
You bet. And the beauty of that is that when people actually apply to your job, you know that they've been able to look inside your business and that they like it. So they're never going to walk in and be surprised.
Wow. Well, I congratulate you on being not just a great entrepreneur, but a great salesperson, because I can only imagine, the business that you used to work in, because that's tough. I mean, people who've not done door-to-door sales or, person-to-person sales wouldn't get it.
You bet.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
We're really looking to make a wave in this hiring space. I mean, so we just released in Dallas only. And so, there's so many companies in Dallas. There's so many people looking to hire, and there's so many people out there that need jobs. And we've really created a way intentionally and with passion to allow people to do that in a very familiar way that is respectful of their time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congratulations on your success. And if Mark Cuban is watching and decides to acquire you, I'll take the standard 95%. We're going to end with your website so people can get in touch. It's, HiredUp.app.
Yep, so HiredUp.app is where you can find us. And then you can also find us just on the App Store. Just type in Hired Up, and we're on Apple and Google Play Store.
Outstanding. Evan York, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.